The Coaches Show is brought to you by Highway 55, Burgers, Shakes, and Fries, Nunboys.com, and GPS Photography and Video, GPSPhotoandVideo.com. Welcome to the Coaches Show. I'm Glenn Young, and I'm alongside the head women's track coach, Regina Mclaughlin. How you doing?
Good evening. How are you?
Doing fine. The Coaches Show is brought to you by Highway 55, Burgers, Shakes, and Fries. Today they got 2 dogs and a drink for $5.99. Nunboys.com, marketing, advertising, t-shirts, GPS photography and video, 1080p HD, GPSPhotoandVideo.com. Coach, spring sports are in full swing. Track is just one of them. You got softball going on, women's softball, baseball. So I'm trying to track down all the coaches. But in talking with track, historically, Hope County has always had great runners.
Yes, they have.
How did we stack up last year in the conference? Where did we finish?
Last year we were in second.
Okay.
Overall in the conference, the girls went second.
Who won the conference?
Pinecrest.
So I mean, we open up with them next week at their place, right?
Yep. Open up with Pinecrest next week.
What was the main reason you think that we came up short?
Numbers.
Really?
We have a very small team.
Now, is it true that they also do the pole vault?
They do pole vault, and they get roughly 24 points.
Wow.
Because they're the only one to get pole vault points.
Wow. Are they the only ones that do pole vault in the conference?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because they don't have the equipment.
Really? Mm-hmm. What would it take for Hope County to get the equipment?
Some thousands and thousands of dollars.
That much?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Now, do we have the high jump?
We do have the high jump.
So,
Matter of fact, we won the high jump last year.
It would seem that it wouldn't take too much, but I mean, it's not a liability thing, is it?
The mat, that also comes into play.
Okay.
Because the county has to have a certain amount of liability insurance to do that. And your mats are totally different. Your mats are not your high jump mats. Your high jump mats and your pole vault mats are totally different.
So is this something that we're going to pursue? Or is it, because 24 points, that's a big deficit.
We have talked about it. We have definitely talked about it. And right now, Coach Brinkman says it's a money thing.
How much money would it take, you think, roughly? Is this saying we got to get the boosters involved, or maybe
I would say
go to the Board of Education?
From 5 to 10,000.
Hope County Commissioner Alan Thomas, hey, I hope you're watching, guy. Hey, this is one of those things. I joked with him at the basketball game, and he was looking and said, "Man, we really need a court."
Oh yeah.
And then I said, "Well, yeah, we'd like to get some field turf out at the Raz Archery too." He said, "Hey,
yes.
Till y'all start winning, y'all ain't getting nothing." So I was sort of messed up, but I was like, "Hey, but the track team's winning."
Oh yeah,
so,
the track team is definitely winning.
It would seem he would be able to give you that.
Yeah.
How many kids you got out this year?
I have a very small team.
Really?
I only have 15 girls. And I still expect to do well in the conference.
Now we're blended all together. Do we have a freshman team, or is it just
no? It's just
no
all
JV,
one team.
All one team.
All one team.
Which is sort of unique. Now the middle schools, do they have a team as well? The three middle schools.
They do.
Have you reached down and talked to those coaches as well, or?
I do. I tend to work with the East Middle coach more because he always reach out to me.
Right.
And I guess maybe because East Hope is the team that I started.
Oh, okay.
The first year we had middle school track and field, I had to coach the middle school team because I begged for middle school track and field. So they had no coach, so I had to coach it. So Coach Garner is he's very helpful. He comes out in the summer and work with us with the kids that do summer track and everything.
Okay.
But the other track coaches, they tend to change every year.
Right.
I think
West
they
Oak
struggle.
and,
Yes, they struggle with keeping a coach. Sandy Grove, I think, struggles with actually building a team. I don't think they really had a team this year.
Wow.
So they're struggling.
Now you also have indoor track, which basically just finished up.
I do.
How do we do in that?
We had 4 children to make it to indoor states.
Wow.
I had 2 girls and I had 2 boys. And actually, they did pretty good. My one girl, she placed 5th in the 500. I also had a boy that placed 5th in the state in the 500, as well as I had another boy that placed 6th in the state in the 500. So
you got the whole winter track team. It's not no men's coach, women's coach. You got the whole winter. That's a good deal.
How many? Look, for a very minimal fee.
Now, how many kids have they're running winter track also coming over in the spring track?
Actually, I only had maybe 3 girls that did not do spring track.
Okay. Now, so they didn't really get too much of a break.
No, they got no break. Our state meet was Saturday, February 12th.
Okay.
And outdoor season started Monday, February 15th.
Now, where was the state meet at?
The state meet was held at the JDL Fast Track in Winston-Salem.
Well, now the makeup of the whole track meet, let's run through the races. Take me through it. Start to finish, how long would it take to complete a track meet?
Roughly 3 hours, 2.5 to 3 hours.
And we start with the sprints first, or what's the breakdown?
We actually start with 4x8.
Okay.
Yeah, we start with 4x8. Of course, you have field events going on while your 4x8 is going on. They're going on simultaneously. So we start with our 4x8. We move from our 4x8 to our 100-meter hurdles.
So they'll do the women's 4x8 and then the men's 4x8?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I got you.
And it's always women's then men.
Okay.
At conference. Well, actually at states and everything as well. Some of your field events switch up.
Okay.
They switch up, but your sprint events, your mid-distance distant events is always girls then boys.
So you go from the 4x8 then to the high hurdles, you said?
You go to the 100-meter hurdles, yes.
Okay.
And then you go to the 110 hurdles. Girls are 100 meters, boys are 110s.
Now, hurdles traditionally, that's no joke.
No, it's not. And actually, I had a senior last year to run hurdles for the first time that won the conference. And
Wow.
qualified to go to states in hurdles.
Now, keep in mind, it's a thing of getting your rhythm of your number of steps
Exactly.
without banging that knee off of there and then going on to the next hurdle, because you've seen some magnificent crashes in hurdles, and it can be, that asphalt bites back.
Yes, it does. It does. And that's why it's so hard to build a hurdler, because they're afraid.
Right.
And what a lot of children don't understand is you don't jump hurdles, you run hurdles.
It's a stride and a rhythm.
Yes.
Exactly.
3 steps. For girls, 100-meter hurdles, 3 steps. If you can get that 3-step rhythm, you can do some damage in hurdles.
Pretty much the same for boys?
Boys, because they're 110th, it's 3 to 4.
Okay.
I want to say it's probably closer to 4 for boys because they're 110 meters versus our 100 meters.
And these are the medium hurdles, not the high hurdles.
These are the high hurdles.
Oh, these are high.
These are the high hurdles. The low hurdles are the 300-meter hurdles.
Okay, gotcha.
And for girls, it's a 9-step.
That's a long race.
It is.
So after the hurdles, then what?
We go from the hurdles to the 4x2.
Okay.
We go to 4x2.
This is a 4x2 relay? Okay.
We go 4x2 relay. Then we go mile.
Okay.
From mile, we go to 4x1.
Okay.
Then we go 400. 300-meter hurdles, or is it vice versa? Maybe vice versa. 300-meter hurdles, 400. 200.
It's all girls, boys, girls, boys.
Girls, boys,
okay.
girls, boys. 200. Your 2 mile. And then your finale, which is your 4x4.
And then, of course, the 100 meters in there.
Yes.
As well.
Did I skip the 100 meters? How could I skip the 100
Does that
meters?
come after the
100 comes right after the hurdles.
Right after the hurdles, and then the
100's come-
200.
No, 4x2.
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 Wow, I mean, that's a lot packed into it. When we come back, Coach, I want to ask you if you got how many races, and this will be the burning question. I'll let you think about it when we come back.
Okay.
How many races should a athlete run within a given day? I mean, this is your premier runner. How many should he run? Hold on that. We'll be right back after this.
Okay.
Welcome back to the Coaches Show. I'm Glenn Young alongside Regina Mclaughlin, the head women's track coach. And Coach, we were talking about an athlete, the number of races they can run within a given day, or a number of events they can compete in. What do you think is best in that regard?
I would say 4. I give them their max. I mean, I treat all my runners as their premier runners. I treat them, they're there because I have a small team. That's another reason why I do that. Now, if you have a larger team, 3, I would go no less than 3.
Now, is it a strategy that goes into that where if I'm running one of your premier sprinters and I'm in the 200, the 100, the 4x1, and the 4x2?
And when you're premier, that's typically what you would do. If you're that good in the 100 and 200, naturally you're going to have a leg of that 4x1 and that 4x2.
And probably the anchor.
Either anchor or second leg. I mean, I tend to concentrate on my strongest runner is actually my second leg.
Wow. Okay.
My 4th leg is my go-getter.
Okay.
But my strongest runner is normally, and my most experienced runner is normally who I put on the second leg.
Wow. Now, who you put on your anchor?
My anchor is normally a girl that I know when it comes down to it, she's not going to give up.
Okay.
She's going to give it all she's got, and she's going to have speed. Normally, my second and fourth leg have about the same speed. They have about the same amount of speed. But my second leg, if you get that bad start, it's got to be that runner that can dig in and bring us back where we need to be. My third leg, I just look for them to maintain.
Okay.
Just maintain. And then my fourth leg is going to bring it home.
Now, that type of sprinter or that type of athlete is in all those races. How much time do they have? You know, given that they're in the 100, they're in the 200, the 4x1, and the 4x2.
Well, you have a pretty good gap. I use my 100. If I have a 100 runner and she's on my 4x2, her 100 is her warm up for her 4x2.
Okay.
So that means she's good and loose.
Okay.
So then you don't have a whole lot of time in between your 4x2 and your 4x1. So I treat that 4x2 as your warm up for your 4x1. And if you can compete in that 4x2, you know, your 4x1 is only half of that. And most of my 4x2s, only 2 of them run on my 4x1.
How good is this team gonna be this year? I mean, I always ask it as a basketball coach, as a football coach, in the first segment, how good is this team gonna be?
We're gonna be sound.
Okay.
Will we win the conference this year? Probably not.
So we have more individuals than
we
team wins, you think, or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we'll have several wins. I mean, we'll dominate the sprints.
Okay.
We always dominate. We've dominated the sprints for the past probably 5 or 6 years. I've had runner of the year in our conference for the past 3 years. Tiara Harris was my runner of the year 3 years ago. The following year, Michaela King was my runner of the year, as well as last year I had a sophomore, a freshman, first freshman I've had to be runner of the year, which was Maya Singletary.
Who's the strongest in the conference? Who's the team out there to beat?
Pinecrest.
So Pinecrest again, who won conference last year.
They won conference, and now
we got second.
We got second, but now we beat them the year before.
Wow. Okay.
First time the girls track and field team has won the conference in probably 15 to 20 years. In my research, I couldn't see that they won in 15 to 20 years.
But see, what's interesting, they got that chip out there because they do the pole vault, and we don't.
Exactly.
So that's that 24 points, so we got to win. You know, that's a plus for them every time going in.
Definitely.
So
Most definitely.
now they the only team in the conference that does the pole vault?
They are.
Richmond? Wow. So
No one
Richmond,
else.
Scotland, Lumberton?
No one else has pole vault equipment.
So it would seem that to level the playing field, that the conference athletic director would say, hey, we're not going to do the pole vault.
Well,
Or
it's sort
as
of
a
not
point event.
right.
You can do it, but not as a point event. Meaning that the kid could compete in state and
Right.
everything like that, but you just can't compete in the conference.
Well, what we're doing this year, we have a minimum.
Okay.
So in the past years, as long as they cleared a height, they could
Okay.
score. Well, this year for the girls must clear 7 feet
In the pole vault.
in the pole vault,
Okay.
and the boys must clear 9 feet
Okay.
in order to score, which that is a little bit under 1A's,
Okay.
competition level for regionals. So that
But we're not jumping.
we're not jumping, but I don't think they'll have as many people to score
Okay.
because their pole vaulters are not as plentiful as they were in years past.
How close was it in the conference between us and Pinecrest last year?
Last year, I think Pinecrest probably beat us by maybe 36 points.
36 points. So
yeah, that
if you
pole
take
vault
out the
definitely-
24, the pole vault, but you still would have lost by
12.
12. So I mean, hey, it is what it is.
Right. And I look at the fact that they tend to have anywhere from 50 to 60 runners, and I'm normally averaging about 20, 25.
Okay.
But I work in quality, not quantity.
Talk to me about the strategy going into next week. It'll be the first meet. You just finished up practice tonight. What will you take them through? Will you pull back off of practice going into a track meet? What's the
Yes.
strategy between that?
Well, of course, Monday is our overload day.
Okay.
So we'll still have Monday will be our overload day. But then Tuesday, we'll lift light because we lift 2 days a week. So starting next week with the first meet, we'll only lift once. We'll lift Tuesday light, then we'll do some short sprints.
Okay.
Wednesday will be straight technical. We'll just tweak, we'll work on handoffs for the 4x1, 4x2. We'll work on technical stuff, blocks, whatnot. And then we'll be ready for Thursday.
What time Thursday at Pinecrest?
At Pinecrest, 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock, Pinecrest, first track meet. And it's ironic that we open up in the conference in track.
Yes.
versus out of conference with the other sports. What's
Right.
behind that?
We only run on Thursdays. We only run conference meets. Now we do
Okay.
invitationals on Saturdays.
Okay.
Where if you're invited to an invitational, you go to that invitational and you're running with everybody. Which I tend to like to take my girls to invitationals because, to me, our conference is not that strong in sprints, and my
Okay.
girls are very strong. I normally dominate in sprints.
So on average, you were looking at the schedule now. We'll do a conference meet every Thursday,
Yes.
and then we'll do a meet on Saturday.
Yes. Our first Saturday meet will be April 16th. That'll be the Carver Classic.
Wow. Now, where's that going to be at?
That's going to be at Reed Ross High School in Cumberland County.
Well, I mean, Coach, hey, I'm excited to see how this all pans out. Next week, right here, we'll do the coaching show. We're going to talk to me the night before.
You got it.
All right. Regina
you.
McLaughlin, head women's track coach. We're in spring sports, and track is here. So you want to go out and check them out next week. I'm Glenn Young. We'll see you next week right here at Highway 55.